You mentioned the guy. Well, on the women's side, that's Jose Fernandez, 23rd season there at South Florida. His team picked first in the preseason poll. They have a target on their back, and this team knows something about coming off losing their championship against their rival UCF. Brooke, how hungry are these Bulls going to be this season?
Oh, so hungry. They're looking for their third straight NCAA tournament, but Sweet 16 dream. Now you've got two players on the squad who can compete for Player of the Year in Cheneke and Dulcy Frankham Mendjiadeu. But who are the three starting spots you're going to fill? You lost a lot of experience, but no doubt Jose Fernandez has the talent, the international talent. He always finds a way to figure out the system, even though everyone comes with different styles. They blend it well together, and this is going to be an interesting race this year to the top of the conference. They are now the top dog in the conference, for sure.
Well, here are those two players that you're talking about, the Player of the Year, Elena Cheneke and Dulcy Frankham Mendjiadeu. They showed out last year all season long in the tournament, and they're joined on that all-conference first team by Layla Blair, who we heard from yesterday, Savannah Wilkinson, and Tamira Poindexter. And now we have the opportunity, though, to be joined by the South Florida head coach, Jose Fernandez. Coach, I love one of the things that you did here in the offseason, and I want to read this right because John Gordon, you had him come speak to your team, and you tweeted out a quote a few days ago saying, "How do you deal with high expectations? Strive to get better, control what you can, tune out distractions, give 100%. How has your team shown that for you so far here in these practices?
You know, I'm very fortunate to have John as a friend. I knew John worked with our team before he blew up. He's very expensive now, but Lucas Jaden also works with our basketball program. For us, it's about the process. I know a lot of coaches say that, but we've been in this league for 9 years now and played for a championship 6 of those years, and the other 3 of the 9 were in semifinal appearances. So our kids will tell you we got a blank banner in the rafters. I got that idea from when Doc was with the Celtics, and that banner is going to say whatever it's going to say. It's how that locker room is going to get together and how we're going to attack each day. And you know, we haven't talked about conference regular season title. Even when we won it and defending it, we never brought it up. We got to attack and prepare for each game like it's the last one of the season. Every game is just as important as the next, and that's why in November and December we went out and scheduled the way that we scheduled.
Hey, Coach Fernandez, Brooke Weisbrod in the studio. Always good to see you, and hard to believe it's your 23rd season, I believe, at USF. Time really flies. You know, love to watch Elena Cheneke play last year in the tournament. I really felt like she is continuing to develop an edge to her game. She's got a lot of talent, but can you kind of take me through that mentality of hers and who she kind of takes that from in her game?
Well, the thing with Elle, I think if you see when she arrived, she's gotten better in a different facet of the game each year. This is a young lady that is in the Muma Center every single day. Courtney Williams had those characteristics. She lived in the gym. Kit Yalaksa, Maria Jesperson, Andrea Smith. So when you have young ladies that you know, where your better players are your hardest workers and the guys that invest the most in getting better themselves, you know, it's a huge trickle-down effect, setting that standard. But Elle's got a really bright future. I think she's developed her mid-range game, getting to the rim, and one thing she really focused on this offseason is getting more consistent from 3. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing that you're going to see from her this upcoming season.
Coach Fernandez, Mark Adams, you have 5 daughters. I'm curious that as you've gone through your 23 years at USF, how has raising 5 daughters influenced your coaching of the women's program to such success for the Bulls?
Well, Mark, I got 5, and none of them played basketball. One did, and she went through a hard time growing up and playing with boys. And, you know, it's sometimes, you know, 1 or 2 situations that young ladies are confronted with can change the way that they participate in sports, unfortunately. But it's, you know, being a dad and having 5 daughters and 7 dogs and surrounded by another 14 young ladies that I feel that they're my daughters as well. I think we have a great family atmosphere and great family support. You look at our staff, Anthony Brammer, who's our video coordinator. He just had a baby and he just got an assistant job at Evansville. Alicia Jackson, who has her little girl Zoe running around the office all the time. So it's great to be surrounded and see, and our young ladies see the different role models that we have here to offer in our program.
Coach, one of your guards, Maria Alvarez, last year she goes down in the regular season finale against Houston and misses the entire American tournament. I'm curious for her what she's worked on this offseason. Now, seeing her healthy again, what's she really going to bring to your team this season?
Well, right now we have 2 young ladies that are still going through the injury process and the rehabilitation process, Maria and Caitlin McGee. So we anticipate them getting them back at some point. We just don't know yet. That just adds to the depth of our team. We have 2 young ladies that are sitting out right now and getting healthy, and that will add to our team. But when you bring in the 5 freshmen that we brought in, and then you return Elena Tsineke and Dulcy and Ariel Wilson that had that backed up Pinzan last year, and 3 high-profile transfers in McGee and Sammy Puisis and Priscilla Williams. You know, Sammy and Priscilla Williams were 2 McDonald's All-Americans. They actually played in the McDonald's All-American game. So I like her versatility. I like her depth. So I think when you watch us this year, we're going to be a lot different. We're much bigger. We have more size all over the place. So I'm looking forward to. We've had 9 practices. We brought officials in twice. We're going on the road for a really good scrimmage this weekend, and then for another scrimmage in about a week and a half.
Jose, did you say you had 7 dogs?
Yeah. You know Tanya, she's crazy. I know. I know.
Do you walk them?
No. We're fortunate to have a lot of land and live on a lake, but, you know, those are Tanya's babies. She cooks for them too, Brooke. She doesn't cook for us, but she cooks for the dogs.
Look, anyone that is doing the most for their dogs, I'm already a fan. You have a daughter named Brooke. You know we're kindred spirits. But I did want to ask, because you have so much depth, do you have an idea of what your starting 5 is going to round out to be yet, or are you still figuring that out?
You know, like I said, Brooke, you know, I'll break it down. You know, at that point guard spot right now, of course, Maria being out, you got Ariel Wilson, you got Marina Asensio, and Jeanette Arnio. We feel good that, you know, 2 of those 3 guys are going to play. Jeanette's more of a wing, but Asensio and Wilson will share the point guard duties. You got 4 really good perimeters in Tsineke and Puisis and Priscilla Williams, right? Again, Arnio will be that in the mix for that wing spot. At the 4 spot, you got Carla Brito, Emma Johansson, Danny Gonzalez, and at the 5, you got Dulcy. Now, Emma, the big, you know, 6'2", 6'3" Swedish kid, can play the 4 and 5. So I think we really got right now our 10 guys, and that's without Alvarez and McGee. So after 11, 12 team workouts and 9 practices, we got a good feel for what our rotation is right now if we've played tomorrow a game.
Coach Fernandez, we can't wait to see you guys tip off this season. Looking forward to especially the tough non-conference schedule that you have ahead of you. Thanks so much, as always, for taking the time.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. Brooke, you had talked about, you know, the missing pieces, all that they lost last year, but Coach Fernandez seems to be really hyped and pumped about the depth that he has of this group. But what really stood out in what you heard from him?
I feel like there's a really calm confidence from Coach Fernandez this year. I think he understands he has that depth, and I'm so glad to see Maria Alvarez finally have a chance to shine. I've seen her play since 7th grade, and she won a national championship for her team, nailed, I think, 6 or 7 threes. I mean, she's a clutch player and one of my favorites in the country, so I'm excited to see what she can do. Cheneke is such a talent, and Dulcy as well. I think South Florida is loaded and could make their first Sweet 16 run.
You know, Brooke, I sense the same thing, but, you know, when you have 5 daughters, you got 7 dogs, you got 14 other daughters on the team. He's remarkably calm. I don't know how you do that, but there is a quiet confidence about him and how he's built this program, and that comes from decades of success. He's got a resume to sit back on. When you look at on the men's side of USF basketball, there's been a lot of different coaches during that time, whereas Jose Fernandez has built a winner year in and year out now for 20-plus years.
I'm curious who tests his patience more, the dogs, the daughters, or the players, but we'll have to find that one out off the air. You know, Brooke, with Elena Cheneke, Player of the Year, preseason Player of the Year, when you're get these early honors, and, you know, why is she the type of player to get that out of the back of her mind and not even be focused on those individual awards and accolades?
Well, this is going to sound a little crazy, but international players almost never care about individual accolades. They are just about team first. She certainly fits that mold, and I love her game. She's got a lot of different elements of how to score, really creative around the rim. You might see, you know, underhand finish, a hook shot, all those types of things that in the paint, you put a little pressure on her, she's still going to make something happen. And I love to hear Jose Fernandez talk about her consistency from behind the three-point line. That was the one thing I think that harmed her in the tournament. So I'm excited to see what she can do.
Well, let's hear from her now. She's joined by her other teammate, Dulcy Frankham Mendjiadeu. Elena and Dulcy, I'm curious, with one of you from Cameroon, the other from Greece, what are the best dishes that you've been able to try from each other's countries?
You want to start first? All right. Well, we both cook a lot. Yeah. But I have tried her peanut butter sauce that she makes, and it's pretty good. I tried with my fufu, because I'm also half Nigerian. It's just a great mix, yeah.
You haven't really, like, cooked any Greek food?
Yeah. I think since I'm in the States for, like, too long, I've learned how to cook a lot of American stuff. So I've been cooking a lot of American food. I actually enjoy it. Yeah, but I'll cook one day.
Sounds like you ladies are eating well. We love to hear that. Elena, this is Brooke Weisbrod in the studio. You know, capitalizing from your run in the American tournament, you really you found a way to stand out and take your team when they needed you the most and put them on your back and create and score. Coach Fernandez talked about you becoming a more consistent three-point shooter this summer. Take us in the gym. What did that look like? Was it a number of shots per day? How did you set that goal to become more consistent?
It's been just a lot of work during the summer, honestly. I've been literally in the gym every day with one day off. I know that was an area for growth last year, that I had to improve in my three-point shot, so that's what I did. I tried to be more consistent workout, and it'll just translate on the court, hopefully. Yeah.
Dulcy, is Mark Adams in studio. I'm curious if you could break down Elena's game. She's been described as a relentless perfectionist. Can you describe in her game and off the court where you've seen that thread of relentless perfectionist?
She's just going for it. She likes to win, that's for sure, and she likes to put the work for it. Every day you will see her in the court? On the court? Yeah. She will be on the court working on her game. When she doesn't have a good day, you will see her after practice or all that. She's just a winner.
Elena, I'm the father of twins. I understand you have a twin sister that plays in Montana. And so I'm curious as to that relationship, how that has driven your competitive spirit, and also just your personal spirit, that kindred spirit that lives up there in Missoula, Montana.
Sir, can you repeat that? What you mean by that question about the spirit? If you can repeat that one.
Sure. So with your twin sister being in Montana, that relationship, how has that driven you as a competitor?
As a competitor against her?
Talk about your relationship with your twin sister.
Well, we just chose to have a different career, like a different path. She went to Montana. She has her own life over there, and we just enjoy our lives being in a different environment every day. I think, yeah, that's pretty much.
Hey, ladies, we want you to just project a little more in the studio. We know it's a little early, but Dulcy, I would love to hear from you. You know, you were a double-double machine in the league last year. What is it about owning the paint, owning that presence, and being the anchor for a Bulls team that's so guard or driven? You know, you're kind of that anchor in the paint. How do you feel being able to do that for such a strong, deep team this year?
It has always been where I'm most comfortable on. I just like the physicality in there. So going in there, having people bigger than me, stronger than me, or whatever, I don't know, I like it. So in order for me to like get there, do that every game, I'm looking forward to it. So.
A question for both of you. With having players from 8 different countries, something that Coach Fernandez is certainly his signature thing, international recruiting. I'm curious, just with all of these different personalities, different cultures, the melting pot that's been created there at South Florida, how it's made you two feel really comfortable coming into this program.
Well, that's just something that I always loved here in USF, that our coach recruits a lot of players that are from Europe, like different countries in the world, and I just love that. It makes me feel warm here, makes me feel comfortable, connected in a different way, so that's just loving.
Also, it like makes you feel being, you know, as an international, if you alone in your team, you will feel like you're different, you know. It makes you feel like you're not alone, like you have someone else that's going through the same thing as you, and it's relieving.
Dulcy, Elena, thank you both so much for joining us today. Looking forward to seeing what your team can do. Pick preseason #1. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.